Hello everyone. In this video, we will talk about data access object pattern. What is this design pattern? DAO pattern is a structural pattern used to separate the persistence logic, which say how we access and manage data from the business logic of an application. It provides an abstract interface to some type of database or data source hiding the actual implementation details like room, ORM, and so on from the rest of the application. When to use it? We can use DAO design pattern when you want to decouple business logic from data access logic, or when you want to easily switch or mock the data layer, for example during the testing, or when you need to follow separation of concern and clean architecture. Example, think of a bank teller who helps you access your bank account. You don't directly access the vault database, but you can interact with a teller who performs the operation for you, like withdraw, deposit, check balance, and like that. The structure of DAO is DAO interface, which declares methods for CRUD operations. DAO implementation, which implement the methods using specific technologies, for example SQL, room database, and so on. Model, which is the entity, the data class or bojo that represents the data, and client or service, which uses the DAO without needing to know how data is accessed. The benefits of this design pattern is separate concerns, business vs data access, also easier for testing and mocking of data layer, allows changes to data storage without affecting business logic, promotes clean and maintainable code. The drawbacks of this pattern adds an extra layer of abstraction, slightly increase complexity for small projects. Let's deep dive into coding. Here I have a student class which have attributes like name and roll number, okay, and normal constructor and getter and setter. Then also I have interface student DAO, data access object. This interface contain methods which we will use to make operations, okay, like I want to get all students, okay, which will return list of students. Also get student with his number, or update a student, or delete a student. If I need to use this class, okay, I will take an instance from student DAO. I also have a student DAO implementation which implement the interface student DAO. I create a list of students, okay, and inside the constructor I define a new list contain some students and add them to the student list. Great. And then I must override those methods and implement them which are exist inside the student DAO. Inside the delete, I will remove the student from the list, and get will return all students, and get a specific student will return a student with his roll number, and if I need to update a specific student, I will update his roll number and his name. Then I will take an instance from my DAO okay, and make a loop to print the students I have inside the list of students, okay. Then I add a new student, okay, and update a specific student, and then I get student with his roll number. Let's run this project. The first, it returns the students I have declared inside the list at the first, roll number 0 and 1, okay, and then the updated one and the last one. This is explanation for data access object design pattern and use cases for it. Thanks for watching and see you next video.